Hey, what's going on, folks? Good afternoon. Actually, it's getting a little bit past that. It's early evening, I guess. I'm Manny Vitale, host of Manny Vitale's Wolfpack, and I am here, as always, with Thing.
I got, oops, the shaking.
Well, you hit the table. Oh, you can't get anything past Thing. You didn't know hands talk, did you? Anyways, how you guys doing on this fine weekend, man? Um, I am day two. Well, actually, day one ish. Post-op hand surgery, and it's starting to go down a little bit and then up into my hand a little more. But you know what? All is good, man. I mean, I'm used to this shit, anyways. Scalpel. Have this one here, man. I said, let's just do it in the waiting room. It was like in and out in literally 10 minutes. But I tell you what, he got his money worth because this little sucker hurts every now and then. But it is doing great. The surgery went well. I still have some of the effects from the surgery. It's only been like 24 hours, but it's feeling really good. So I'm looking forward to being able to actually feel the laces when I tie my shoes and all that good stuff. And but that's doing good. The back is coming along. I go next week to Tuesday to see follow up for my doc to get clear to go back to work. And this time I'm prepared. See, they caught me off guard last time. She was good. Actually, it wasn't fair. They teamed up on me. The orthopedic department at Henry Ford is just that. It's the orthopedic ward. So it's not just one doctor. All the ortho doctors are in there. So you might as well give some shout outs. Within one department, they have a hip doctor. How do I know? Because Dr. North worked on and replaced my hip. They have shoulder and elbow specialist as well, Dr. Rill and his PA Brent. How do I know this? He's done numerous rotator cuffs. Dr. Rill and Brent have numerous rotator cuffs, shoulder replacement, anchor or tricep attachment, anchors inserted numerous times. We have Dr. Taliafora, who is a back surgeon, who has put screws and plates and cages in my back. We have Dr. Barron. Hello. Need I say more? And yeah, I know them well. So last time when I went for my checkup, I was ready just to walk in with the old razzle dazzle about, okay, man, we're ready to go back to work. I go back with restrictions because when I go to the doctor, it's not so much as an appointment as it is a debate. And usually I do pretty well, except for when they put in a cage, 2 plates, and 4 screws. And less than 2 months later, I get it, or about a month and a half, just over a month later, I get a call. Shit, it was under that because I had my staples taken out. And I think it was about 3 weeks after surgery, I got a call saying, "What did you do?" Which I replied, "What the hell are you talking about? How much pain you in?" You just cut me open, man. I mean, it hurts. He said, "Manny, the cage is 50% pulled out of your spine." I mean, I'm back to work. I'm riding Harleys. And I thought the pain that I was feeling was just healing pain. No, 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 no. It was the cage pulling 50% out of my spine. And the way that we found out that it was getting worse is my left leg started to go numb and I was having problems just walking. So back I went. So, anyways, when I went back for my second surgery and then my follow up, they weren't about to release me. And because I did a little bit of negotiations after the first one, and they're like between 4 to 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks before you can go back to work and do anything. Well, after discussions with how I was feeling and how we could modify my job, I went back in less than 19 days and feeling good. So let's just say there, Devin was prepared for me. Walk in, see her, everything's going well. I still had a lot of swelling. Not only that in the abdomen for when, unfortunately, I started to hemorrhage the day after surgery. So that was a huge concern. And so when I said something about going to work, she was, yeah. And I already had my paperwork. And I was like, all right. Well, she had a talk with my previous surgeons before I got there that day, and they warned her about the negotiations that I'd like to have. So they already had it printed out that I wasn't doing a damn thing for at least 4 weeks. So yeah, they caught me off guard, but all is well because I read the playbook. I'm on to them now. I see them Tuesday. I plan on being back Wednesday morning. So I probably shouldn't have said that because I don't know if Devin and them watch this, but if they do, love you. And to all your spouses and all that, for all the money that you're getting from all my surgeries, you're welcome. But other than that, man, life is great. Just been hanging out with, the Olympics, as y'all know, how much I talk about that, are going. And today, I don't know if you even saw the title and description. It's basically going to be fun facts, interesting and not so interesting facts, just to kind of, let's just have a little fun this weekend with a little bit of everything. So what we did is just checked on to some, just as I said, interesting and not so interesting fun facts. Some of it's pretty cool. So I'll be covering that. And again, I just wanted to a couple shows ago, just chit-chatting about all the incredible people who, of course, part of our family and all the other families as well, that we're helping each other, motivating each other, strengthening each other, building each other up. That's what we're here for. So I gave a shout out to all the people who were kind enough to bring me on their show as a guest to share my story. And not only that, to share my Fight Our War and what we are all about. So just as a quick recap, we're going to have some recrapination going on here. So have a seat.
We have Tyler Thomason and Carol Payne are on.
Carol and how you doing, brother? How you doing, Carol? Good to see you guys. You're just in time for the crapulation. So we're going to recrap what happened. I'm thanking the awesome people who had me on their show, starting back in the beginning of time. Brad McLeod, Sober's Cool. Dan and Donna, Hard Knocks. Josh, Scar Nation. Kat, Sober Patrol. Dylan and Alicia, High Sobriety. Ian Bick. And I know, shit. Who am I forgetting? I don't want to forget anybody. Okay, well, I actually have it. Ian Bick. Oh, Blacklist. Can't forget my brother Jared and my broster Brianna. Hard Knocks, Sober's Cool, High Sobriety, Sober Patrol, Scar Nation, all you guys. Thank you so much for allowing me to come on as a guest on your show. Definitely appreciate it. And in return, what I'd like to do, man, is we share, we help, we reach out. And you know what? Anyone who is out there to do the same thing that we're doing, and of course that's with my Fight Our War, is give back. That's what we do. So I've got that open invitation to anyone and everyone who wants to come out and share their story. It's completely up to you. It's something you don't have to do, obviously. We have some people who like to share through posts, through some of their stories, and that's great. If you do want to come on as a guest on the show and share your story, hey, you're more than welcome, and do it at your speed. When you're ready. There's people who have been on here since day one, January 9th, 2023. And I've talked to a few of them through Messenger who have said, I've been part of this family since the day it started. And some of them never even posted for months and months afterwards, and then finally started to post. And it was because they felt, nervous, afraid. This is a scary ass subject and you're dealing with. Now you're going to ask people, oh, hey, just come on and have this nice, intimate family talk with the entire world. So some of these people were coming out saying that they, have been watching, and they've been building that trust and that love and that support. Next thing you know, they're some of the biggest supporters out here. So thank you so much for that.
Heidi says hi.
And Heidi, talking about from the beginning, man. Heidi, thank you so much. You have been there since day one, man. Your support, your positivity, and all the stuff that you've been doing, just like with Carol, Tyler, and everyone else from day one till July 27th.
Yes.
And also, speaking of July 27th, I want to thank you guys for your very, very kind words for today, which is 4.5 years of sobriety for this old boy. And it's been a hell of a journey, a hell of a journey. And this journey is not even close to being over. It hasn't even started. We are taking this shit there are no limits. The limits, as I've said before, the only limits we have are the limits we put upon ourselves. And the setbacks that we've had in the past, screw that, man. You know what that is? That's all that is great comebacks waiting to happen. So thank you to all of you guys again, allowing me to be on your show. And then there were the ones that were nice enough to grace my show on my Fight Our War. And of course, we had Nicole Parsons Chantanea, of course, Ian Bick, Ty from Scar Nation, Tyler, who's watching right now, David Riggins, Chad Matson, Swag over at Sober Swaggy. Swaggy is sober. Swaggy is sober. Did I say that wrong?
Swaggy is sober is correct.
Swaggy is sober. With Jody over there. So, for all you guys, thank you so much, man. And, there's a lot going on. And with this new show with Manny Vitale's Wolfpack show that is catching and carrying and doing and discussing anything, you guys saw that the other day. This is perfect for just that. We had my brother Ian Bick on, and me and him were just shooting the shit about our adventure to Connecticut when we had a great time. Me and OG had the pleasure of meeting not only Ian, but JC, a good friend of his who is just a hell of a guy who is serving our country, who is stationed in Germany. So JC, I hope that you're coming with Ian and when he comes here in Detroit. Had a great time. So we decided, hey, you know what? Let's just, I was telling him about the other show with the Wolfpack. And, as you guys have seen, Ian ain't playing, man. Ian is kicking ass and doing great things Locked In with Ian Bick. So hats off to you, Ian, man. We're so proud of you, brother. Love you, man. And looking forward to working with you more in the future. Let's see what else. Where was I going with this for something?
Well, because we're doing things like talk about.
Oh, yeah. So that's what I as busy as Ian was, and it still is, because you guys know. I mean, it could be, let's see, it's 3:00. Let's go live. Let's see. Oh, man, I'm hungry. Let's go live. Let's see. I'm going to take a walk. Let's go live. It doesn't take anything for me to go live. You guys know that. I never carry around script, pad of paper, or pen. We just wing it and have fun and talk. And just to show you the type of person that Ian is, as busy as he was and is, I called him 2 weeks ago on a Friday. And I said, what's going on, brother? And let's go live, like now. And he was gracious as can be, as busy as he was. He said, man, he'd love to, but Mondays are better, and let's do it Monday. So boom, it was taken care of. Sure as heck, the following Monday, we came on live and just shooting the shit. Just two brothers having fun, discussing our trip there, the fun stuff, and the amazing cuisine with Domino's Pizza that they have in Connecticut. Along with him and JC and events that happened, just a lot of laughs. Then he in turn was telling us about his vacation, trying to make it through the airport and not doing so well through security and the things that happened there. And then everything from parasailing. And of course, hanging out with Hulk Hogan and ice cream with Chevy Chase and all that good stuff. But yeah, I got him to almost admit that his highlight was having me on his show instead of all those other ones on his bucket list, which is not true. But, it just goes to show, man, that's what we do. And so we were just having fun and having a great time. And lo and behold, what happens? A few days later, I'm introduced to a friend who works at the cemetery where my father is. Just, strike up a conversation. I don't know if you know this about me, but I'll talk to anybody. And what's that thing?
It's true.
It's true.
It's true.
It's so true. So just a conversation, man. I can't even tell you, and you guys know, I'm sure it happens to you guys all the time. We start talking, and next thing you know, they're like, especially when we talk about My Fight or War, it's like, man, I've got a family member, I've got this or that, and who's has issues, and I love what you're doing, and they are members of our family. Lo and behold, I meet this gentleman, and he starts telling me about a sister who has some issues. We discussed it. He got a hold of her. She checked us out, and now she's a member of our family. Um, I'll leave it up to people whoever want to disclose who they are during stories. That's up to them. I will never be throwing names out there unless it is okay. That is for sure. And if it's stuff you're already posting, people know who you are. So that's a gimme. So we start talking and meet him. That same day, I leave and I get a text from him, and it's got an advertisement of a interview that was done on Channel 4, and it was for this woman whose son was tragically shot to death and murdered in Pontiac on January 14th. Well, he told me the backstory on this and how she was trying to get more of this story out to try to turn this negative, terrible tragedy into something positive so other mothers didn't have to go through what she's going through. And the thing that just blew me away is before I even said anything, he said, Manny, she just feels that no one is listening to her. Her voice has been taken away. She is voiceless in this thing. I just was blown away because since the day I thought about starting this new one with the Wolfpack show, my whole point behind it was have an open discussion for anyone and everyone to discuss about certain things that are going on in their lives that they feel very relevant to get out there to the public. It doesn't, I didn't never said they have to be these serious topics. I never said they had to be funny as shit. Anything out of these topics that you want to discuss. Because I have had other people come on that once they hear about the podcast, especially, they hear about My Fight or War and all the other families who we, discuss a lot of very serious shit. And they're like, man, this is intense and this is that. And I said, well, that's not all life is. Addiction is not a death sentence. Recovery is the beginning of life. And what's the use of having recovery in life unless you live it? So there's more to life that goes along with recovery. So that's when I said, you know what? I want people who feel they are voiceless to let them know, I don't care who you are, what color, what religion, what race, what political, I don't care about any of that. Your social status, your income, we all have a voice and we all deserve to be heard. There you go, Manny Vitale's Wolfpack, because we are all family. And as I've said with this show, I host the show. I started it, but you guys are the host. You are the co-host of this show because you come in with whatever it is that you would like to discuss, and we co-host together. So it's your own show. You guys have your own shows. All you have to do is hit me up. Let me know what that show is going to be, and we will let that sucker rip, and we will have a great time. If it's something silly as shit, we'll be laughing together. If it's something serious as a heart attack, I will be intense as hell with you. If it's something sad, I'll cry with you. So we got it all. So that being said, too, we went from me and Ian laughing our asses off to meeting this amazing woman, Sean Hunt, whose son, Jason Hunt, was tragically killed at his studio. He's a singer, rapper, upcoming artist. And she was sent numerous letters to politicians, congressmen, the White House, everywhere, just to be heard, just to try to get gun violence, as far as like gun control, just senseless violence. How do we step up to help? I mean, there's a lot of things being done. We know that. How do we do more? There's always more that we can do. To sit there and say, well, they're already doing this, so it's already being handled. Well, no, it's not. There's always a way to improve on anything. So I agreed to, I told him, I said, give her my number. She called, we talked for probably a half hour, and it was intense. I could feel the pain through the phone talking to her. And she told me what she said, Mandy, I just feel no one's listening to me. I talk and talk and talk, and no one listens. No one's giving me time. As she's telling me this, it's just, she's basically telling me why I started the Wolfpack. So I explained to her who I am, what I do. I explained to her about My Fight Our War. I explained to her Manny Vitale's Wolfpack, the two shows, and what we do. She immediately wanted in. I told her what we could do to get her story out there. And well, you guys saw the rest. I did the first story was like a little intro to Sean and Jason, what it was about. And you guys lit it up, man. It was like over almost 1,000 views. I mean, within just 3 days or something like that. So that's just what I mean as far as what the diversity we are going to go through. So when you think that you have something you want to discuss, hit me up, man. Let's discuss it. So, like today, what do we got? The Olympics going on. I already brought that up in the past that, if you guys have any sports or activities or something's your favorite, let me know. So, since we were sitting here watching some of the Olympics, we decided to pull up some just fun facts. And I got the Olympic ones, right?
Yeah,
Do you have them?
some.
You got some? We'll start off with just a couple of them here. Let's just start with good old USA. And this is, if you're into sports in the Olympics, especially the Olympics, this one is who is the USA Olympian with not only the most medals, but the most gold medals. So give you, a little bit to try to think about it and type in. And while you're thinking about that, we'll give you a couple more. So again, who is the USA Olympian with the most total medals and the most gold medals? That could be recent, could be, well, up until now, who is that Olympian? What do you got for Olympics? Do you got anything?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
I'm going to turn my mic up.
Give a rip.
Just some fun facts.
You're not.
I'm not. Just some fun facts. Can you hear me now?
Go.
Some fun
There
facts.
you go.
Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Okay. The Olympians, even though they don't get paid for working or for going to the Olympics, the gold medal, the silver medal, and the bronze medal actually does have a monetary amount that they can get. The gold medal winner gets a stipend or a bonus of $335.
Nope. I thought you had it.
$37,500
for gold.
For gold medal. A silver medal, they get $22,500. And for a bronze medal, they get $15,000, which is very, very nice, especially since, most of them aren't getting paid and most of them aren't going home with medals. But so those who do are doing really well.
Yeah. So I didn't know that till just now because I know they said they're talking about, they don't get paid while they're there like pro athletes do. But yeah, that was some just learn that. So
I want to step in here. Heidi, that was my guess because she said Simone, and I thought Simone Biles had the most medals. So, Manny, why don't you?
You know what, Heidi? That was the first thing. As soon as I said that, she said Simone. Not even. And well, actually, tell her how many. Do you remember?
How many Simone got? Oh, it's like 12.
7.
7?
So I think it was like gold medals or something like that.
Okay, she's got a lot.
But that's what we saw earlier. That we might have something. This isn't written in stone, but that's what we got. Shut up. So anyways, but no, good guess. That actually is where is he? Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps, a swimmer from US, has 23 gold medals that he won and an overall of 28 medals, Olympic medals. So Michael Phelps was that one. So then we've got you came up with the gold medal, like OG said, for you get. So think about that. Phelps got 23 gold medals at 37,500 a pop.
Woo.
That's not counting endorsements. That's not counting all that other stuff. So we go from that to
well, the gold medals themselves, because people think they're gold, but they're actually mostly silver. So the gold medal itself is mostly silver, and then it's gold plated. about 6 grams of gold on the gold medal, and it's only worth, like, if you take it to a pawn shop, about $500.
Yeah. So
But it's actually worth 37.
or it's worth this, but you go to any pawn shop and that 37,000 going to be worth $50. But so now, okay, Heidi, I guess we're throwing this out to you. The youngest Olympian. What is, well, this is kind of a two-parter. But what is the age of the youngest Olympian? And this goes from ever in history. Oh, excuse me. And you can't guess at this because you know.
Well, that's
but
kind of hard.
Well, yeah, but we'll what does it say?
No, she's just saying that, Simone, regardless.
She's
a winner. Absolutely. She's
without a doubt. So okay, so who is the youngest? What is the youngest age of an Olympian?
There was a Greek kid.
Oh, she's already answered, man. 14. You are
That's very
good. You are good,
close.
man.
That's close.
Actually, the youngest Olympian is Demetrios, a 10-year-old who won a bronze medal.
But back in
And
1800,
the 20s.
Oh
No. This goes into the second part. But yeah, I'm not sure. I don't have the date on this. That's out there somewhere. But yeah, he was 10 years old. Who won a bronze medal. But the youngest recent as in right now to in these Olympics. Oh, I'm sorry. No, this was in 20. And was it Tokyo?
Yeah.
Or Beijing? Yeah, it was in Beijing. But in 2020 Olympics, there was a 13-year-old female skateboarder who participated for Great Britain. So at 13. So yeah, you're all over it, man.
You're good.
Yeah. See, I'm like you, Heidi. I love the Olympics. So yeah, man, you were right there. So this Sky, I don't have her name on here. But yes, Sky Brown won, or no, I'm sorry, is an Olympic skateboarder for Great Britain. Mm-hmm. And okay, I already read the.
Okay. Some events, however, nowadays do require they have an age limit, like the gymnastics and snowboarding. It's 15 to 16 years of age. That's the youngest.
That was the youngest, and since we're going from that, Heidi, you can see the people are just piling out here. So we got the youngest. Well, you know what's coming, Heidi. So what is the oldest? I got what?
You got it.
I got it on this page. The oldest Olympian. Shit, she's probably going to nail it or be right there. No Googling. No Googling.
Nice guess, Heidi.
That's 42. You know what, though? When you're thinking about the Olympics, that's actually the oldest person in Olympics to win. He won a silver medal. He was 72 years old. He was a marksman. So he was a shooter. He was a marksman in the 1920 Olympics. 72 years old, won a silver medal. And from there, I think that. Do you have any more Olympic ones?
Well, there's one about the road bike since we were watching.
Oh yeah. Earlier they had all the different events going on throughout the day, and they had on the bicycling and some of those bikes. And I remember a friend of mine, he was into racing, and I remember the time I was over there, and he had one of his race bikes. I mean, that thing was so freaking light. So, of course, what do you guys think the bikes in the Olympics? I don't know if they're different than the Tour de France and all that or not, but let's just say in the Olympics, because isn't that where that number came from? Mm-hmm. How much do you think the bicycles weigh in the Olympics? And that one, go ahead. Oh, you got that. Heidi didn't answer yet.
All the pressure's on you, Heidi.
Yeah, this is cool, man. Heidi's kicking ass. Heidi, thank you for participating. For that, you win nothing. You get to be our top fan, our top family member, as always.
I'll send her a heart right now. You said they were hurt.
To the heart.
Okay. But they're super light.
She doesn't know. Yeah, who does?
They're super light, but they have to be structurally safe. So the lightest bike, 14.99 pounds.
14.99 pounds for the Olympic bikes. And there were, the lovely weather in France Paris with the rain coming down. One of our own, our U.S. riders, you talk about tough and grit and these freaking, I tell you what, that's one reason you're probably the same way, Heidi, the dedication that these athletes, I don't care what nation, yet fell 4 times. This woman hit the deck 4 times, got up, never quit, finished the race, and she was 3/100ths of a second out of the scoring. I don't know if it was for tonight to qualify. I'm hoping not, man. To go down 4 freaking times and to come up 3/100ths of a second, she was amazing. And then that's this poor girl. She fell the first 3 times. The last time, yes, she was a bloody mess. So after that, after the 4th fall, she gets off her bike, and these guys who follow this, they got the chasers, the cars with the supplies, with the bikes, with everything that could go wrong. So she stopped, wanted to switch bikes. Her mechanic jumped out, grabbed the bike, ran up to her to try to get there as fast as they can. He fell on top of the bike that he was going to give her. So not only did she fall 4 times, but the mechanic there to come save the day wipes out, falls on this thousands upon thousands of dollar precision tuned bike and lands right on top of it. And she still got up and finished the race. USA, baby. And they, Dean, if you're watching, you too, brother. But this is the Olympics, man.
Nothing against Ireland.
Nothing against Ireland.
We have to root
hey,
for USA.
just like, hey, we're rooting for Ireland too. We're rooting for everyone too, but USA's coming first, man.
Speaking of coming first, the men's relay dive.
Oh yeah, they did the men's 400 relay, and they kicked ass. I can't remember his last name. Anyways, that was a relay, and that's always been one of my stronger sports, swimming. And those of you who know me well know I'm lying through my teeth. I've always been a decent athlete, and when it comes to hockey, I can honestly say I kicked ass as a hockey player. That's one thing. You know what? When you do something as shitty and as wrong as we've done most of our lives, and we do something to turn our lives around, and we get that those accolades and all that, you deserve it. Well, the one thing I can honestly say is I busted my ass because I loved hockey, and yeah, it was just these athletes. Where in the hell was I going with this?
About how well you could swim.
The swimming. See, that's why you tell I'm lying, because it's like, what?
It's live.
But no, back to the swimming, man. That's one thing I hate swimming. Floating, I'm really good at, as long as I'm on a raft or something. That whole dead man float, anyways, yeah, for swimming, I was always blessed to be very fast. Like for track, I ran I think in high school it was like the 75-yard or 50-yard dash. So I mean, real quick, I was on it, man. Swimming, I'd jump in that water for the first 25 yards, I'd smoke you. At 26 yards, I sank. It was Manny the Titanic going down. And then sometimes, man, if you had those little ugly orange jackets on that we had to tie around our throats, and if we weren't drowned and our parents choked us to death before we drowned, even with those on, I'd be, are you doing good? Going great, as I'm going under. But yeah, our swimmers, man, well, hell, look at Phelps back in the last Olympics. He kicked ass. But oh, wait a minute. So now we got to go some of this very serious stuff. Did you know that you can actually die laughing? You're the nurse.
Yeah.
You can die laughing.
Yes,
You could die from a heart attack. You could die from suffocation. So it says here, comedy shows should come with a warning. Again, only here do you get facts like this, baby. You want to know about
the chainsaws?
Oh, okay. You know what? I don't think I wrote it, but I'll go by memory.
18th century
In
Scotland.
the 18th century,
In Scotland.
chainsaws in Scotland were used for assisting in childbirth.
To cut the symphysis pubis. So if you're a woman, you know that's what gets kind of loose as you're getting ready to give birth and stretch.
Mm,
They had chainsaws.
mm. See this face?
He's glad he's not a woman.
No, this is a face that guys make when you hear a story about, or you see a guy getting kicked in the nuts. This face, because even though it's not us getting kicked in the nuts, we are all attached. All men are attached by the mother nuts, well, it should be the father nuts of the world. So one of us gets hit, we all feel it.
So they started using chainsaw for actually wood.
After the fact.
In the 20th.
In the 20th century, they're like, hey, you know what? This shit cuts women's crotches open pretty good and the kid falls out. Let's use this to chop some firewood. So let's see. Hey, I'd love to come to the cabin and hang out, my man, but I'm pregnant and I might give birth. I got your ass. And the other part. Oh, yeah. And see me talking with my hands and all that. Did you know that deaf people can talk in their sleep?
Sign language.
Can sign in their sleep. Well, talking, that's how a deaf person signs. So then if you're doing this while you're deaf, that's how they speak. So they're talking in their sleep. And if you wake them up and they're not all the way awake and they're mad, they'll just be like, didn't know that till today.
You could tell there was some dead time during the Olympics.
Yeah.
Looking up these fun facts.
So, yeah. So let's see.
What giraffes?
That's on your side.
Oh.
Giraffes, it's on the very top. Did you know about now there's no limit to the knowledge that you will get on this show. None, zero. And I didn't mean that's the knowledge you'll get, but what do we got here?
You can read your way.
Oh.
What's on Green's Earth?
What's on Green's Earth?
Heidi, I don't understand the question.
What on Green Earth? Green's Earth. Well, while we're figuring out Green's Earth, we will discuss very important things that will help us stay alive. If there's a severe thunderstorm, there's lightning, find your nearest giraffe and stand close. Why, you ask? Because giraffes are 30 times more likely to get hit by lightning than humans.
Yay.
So if you're out and about, hanging out in the city and you're, I don't know, storm comes rolling in, get to the zoo. Jump in the barricade, for the giraffes and cuddle up close and you'll live. Okay. So yeah. See, you guys just when I told you, you never knew what you were going to hear or see.
Yeah, Heidi says looks like we've been studying the encyclopedia.
Uh-huh.
Spent downtime on Google.
Yes. I think that, if I wasn't going back to work soon, if I was getting released, can you imagine the shit that I'd be coming up with? All right. Now we will segue into nothing really, just more of the same. Let's see, jargon. No.
Trivia.
Mishmash, posh,
Okay.
pish, some, pish,
Careful.
posh. Careful. Yeah. There's no fucking bad language on this show.
How about identical twins?
Did you know identical twins do not share the same fingerprints?
So they're not.
So they're not identical.
They're
Someone freaking lied.
Mhm.
Someone misspoke.
Mhm.
Yeah. Huh. All right. Where is the
Surgery?
Yeah, we're talking about
Your surgery.
Oh, here it is.
Surgery.
Yeah, here I thought my back surgery was
long
long.
time?
Between the two surgeries on my back, they were total of what, 14 hours each? Or no, 14 hours total, which to me, it was a long freaking time, even though I don't remember it. But 7 hours per surgery is pretty freaking long until we looked up what is the longest surgery. How long was the longest? How long did it last? And we came up with the longest surgery lasted 103 hours. Doctors in Singapore had to separate conjoined twins, and it took 103 hours. And the surgery was a success. The surgery part was. Both both lived,
Mhm.
but unfortunately, after 7 years went by. One of them developed meningitis and passed away. The other one is still alive and living a normal life. Um, do you have, what do you got?
I've got the oldest dog and the oldest cat.
Okay, well, that way we can throw this into Heidi. Give her both
Oh,
one at
yeah,
a time.
Heidi, what's the age of the oldest dog, and how long has the oldest cat ever lived?
Yeah, the ages
Picking
of
on
the.
you since you decided to answer.
Yeah, what's the oldest dog and oldest cat?
Give a guess. Write down any number. And Tony,
No.
since Tony, your cousin's Tony's on, tell him he needs to answer.
Yeah, man, everyone. I mean, they're just afraid of Heidi.
Yeah.
That's all. Heidi, they're afraid of you. They are 27. Is that for the?
Whoa.
That's got to be for the. Wait, well, wait a minute.
Well, that's close.
I know, but which one is that, dog or cat? Because it's. Oh, you got it right. Don't say anything yet. Okay.
She's got 27. Which
But what for? Is it for which one is it though?
She's not saying. She just shows.
Either or. Okay. Go ahead. Give them.
Yeah, the oldest dog is 29 and a half.
There you go.
Oldest cat lived to be 38 years.
And you know what that means?
Susie's only
just turned 9, my wonder dog. So me and my baby, she's gonna be around a long time.
Let's see. Lightning. Well, a lot of people know this. Lightning is 5 times hotter than the sun.
And who found that shit out? Oh, that's hot. Yeah, okay.
54,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
See, I thought it was 53, but
well, see, you're wrong. Again.
It happens.
Mm-hmm. How much does a cloud weigh? Do you have that one?
I don't. I think it's 1,000 tons or something.
1 million.
1 million tons of cloud. Now, again, really.
First surgery.
The first surgery.
If you had surgery.
Oh, here it is.
First surgery ever reported.
The first surgery ever reported. We were both thinking, got to be amputation, man. Hey, this thing's dangling. We'll cut it the rest of the freaking way off. Okay, let's consider that surgery. What kind of insurance you got? Freaking, this is Braveheart days, man. So, anyways, the earliest surgery was basically a craniotomy, drilling a hole in the head to relieve pressure, but we don't have the date or the year or anything.
I'm going to come in on this one. I'm not going to be hand. I'm just going to come in and say, I've been to Egypt, and in the pyramids, they actually have drawings of surgical. I worked in surgery for 45 years. I know my instruments, and they had
maintenance.
Surgical instruments actually inside, drawings of them inside the pyramid, not in the pyramids, in the like Luxor and the temples. Anyway,
in Vegas.
I'm done.
What the hell did you just explain?
Well, they talk about surgical instruments, the trephination.
So she was in the Luxor at Vegas and saw instruments in Egypt.
I was in Luxor in Egypt, though.
You know what? Sure. I know a place where you could join. If there's issues.
Stop my drinking.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah. So that was the earliest surgery.
Did you do the longest flight?
I'm just looking at it. And for those of you who are travelers like me, traveling and going on cruises, such as those of you in Michigan know the lovely cruise down to the Detroit River or Detroit River to Bablo back in the day. That was my experience on a cruise ship. And as far as flying and all that, yeah, I started that shit late in life too. Not a fan, but don't mind it actually. But did you know? Well, no more guessing. We'll just read this one, Heidi. Give you a little break so you can just have pity on us. The longest flight the longest flight is from Newark to Singapore, and if you take that lovely flight, you will travel 9,534 miles.
Think of the frequent flyer miles.
18 hours, 45 minutes. And just to make sure you make it, the plane holds 44,000 gallons of fuel. So, those of you who plan on going from Newark to Singapore, pack a lunch. Well, shit. Let's see. What else we got here?
Did you already do the longest baseball
Nope,
game?
I'm looking at it. We were just besides sports and all that Olympics, we were looking at just other fun facts to just keep you gripped to your seat. It's like, oh, what are they going to say next? The longest professional game, now it is a minor league team. This is between the Pawtucket Red Sox and the Rochester Red Wings. This took place in 1981. The game lasted 33 innings, 8 hours, 25 minutes. The first 32 innings were played overnight from April 18th to the 19th. The game was finally won in the 33rd inning. So that was the longest recorded baseball game, major game. Well, even though it was a minor league team, but it was still against those Pawtucket Red Sox and Rochester Red Wings. If I talking Southern, I don't know. Just sounded like Pawtucket. Yeah, Pawtucket. Because I was talking like Paris talk when this dude was talking about because I have the American car, I have a Charger. I have a Charger, and but they have these barricades up, and this is no good. No good. I ride my bicycle. So I was doing my Paris talk.
Tallest NBA player. 2 of them.
Okay, well, Heidi, do you want to give that a roll, or do you just want us to mention it? Well, you know what, Heidi, we'll just
give her a break.
We'll give you a break. Go ahead.
A
What's
guy by the name of Manute Bol?
Well, a guy by the name of? That's like saying, for you hockey players, there's some guy named Gordie Howe. I guess he played hockey. I don't know. Have you ever heard of him? Or I don't know. There's a Joe Namath.
And
I think
George Morrison. They're both 7'7".
7'7" for some guy named Manute Bol. There's a NASCAR driver. I don't know if any of you guys heard of Earnhardt. Oh. I mean, I heard I don't know, he drove the pace car maybe. Right now she's going pace car?
What's a pace car?
What's a pace car? Oh, this whole thing right here, when you do that to your dog, do you know why they do that? Do you know why they do that?
Why do they do that?
They do that because they're trying to key in on keywords like walk, treat, go to the bathroom. I just learned that today too. The endless book of knowledge, folks.
Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah, and it's endless.
It was really fabulous, but there was downtime.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, did you know if this shit was getting real, man? What do? You run to the zoo if there's a lightning storm, and you start getting, all comfy and cuddly with a zebra, a freaking giraffe. Yeah, you know what? Hey, to each their own. I'm not judging. We're not here to judge. I'm just saying, if you want to get saved by not getting hit by lightning, get jiggy with a giraffe, whatever. Okay. I thought there was some more. The longest wedding veil was longer than 63 football fields. What the shit? You know why? Because it was the fiance, the dude was sewing it. That way he could throw it out the window of the church and climb down and run.
23,000 feet.
23,000 feet veil. So that way he could hang himself.
Stop. That's a romantic.
Marriage is for married people. We did. Wow, man, we did them all.
Well, there's a couple like American apple pie isn't actually American at all because apples are actually native to Asia.
Asian apple pie.
Asian apple pie.
Yeah, it just doesn't flow.
And the national animal of Scotland, you thought it was Loch Ness.
It's a freaking unicorn.
Unicorn is the national animal of Scotland. Scottish, they got the chainsaws, they've got the unicorns. I'm wondering.
Yeah, you know what?
I'm half Scottish. I'm worried about.
Yeah, you know what? That one there. When I started reading that here, and I saw that the chainsaw was used for in childbirth. For as evil as you women can be. When I saw that, well, hey man, every time a guy gets kicked there, every woman laughs their asses off. The voices of Mickey and Minnie Mouse got married in real life. Oh,
you're talking like a wedding veil and there's marriage in the kind of a marriage.
Did you know that Mickey and Minnie, the voiceovers, so no one was there. They did it all, just audio. I don't know. Man, there was a lot more when we were just going through them, but See, now you guys are stuck with just us. So,
Yeah, well, I'm trying to find some others.
but bottom line is, man, we
fun. It's
you know
fun.
what? It's just something fun. It's as I've said many times, it's not that I'm not taking things seriously on other sides, because there's more to all of us than just, like I said, what we deal with the other show as well. So we just share the wealth with everybody. You can hear a blue whale's heartbeat from more than 2 miles away. Hmm.
That's kind of heartwarming.
So what, you got to just like go underwater with a stethoscope and
Yeah.
just start scoping?
I have a stethoscope all the time.
But let's see what else we got going on. Okay. Let's see. This week we got any shows happening. We got the list of people that I'm waiting to get back. A friend of mine actually is coming on that I did talk to. He is a former NHL hockey player. His name's John Blum. Played for years. I think it was like 13 years in the NHL. John is a great dude, man. We actually played hockey like together through the same associations growing up through St. Clair Shores in Michigan. Knew a lot of the same people. John made it to the show, man. He made it to the bigs and played in the NHL and played for our own Detroit Red Wings, and also has some stories to tell about his life going through the ranks in the NHL and the good and bad that can come of it as well. But we'll leave that to John to tell his story. So we're in contact right now, getting a date set up to hear John's story. And again, he's a good friend of mine. We work out together with the Breakfast Club at the Powerhouse Gym. And once he heard about My Fight Our War, first we started chit chatting because we kind of recognized, just and talk about hockey. And then once hockey hit, we were on, and then ended up knowing each other through the organizations growing up. He's got a couple of years on me, but yeah. And then I told him about My Fight Our War. He told me about his situation, told him about what we're doing here, and he's all in. And not only that, but he's also part of the Detroit Red Wing Alumni Club. And all these former players, I've had the pleasure and privilege of meeting a lot of them in the past, and let him know that definitely looking forward to anyone and everyone who would like to come on as well. And with any of our stories, everyone matters. But I mean, just a fact that, you throw, Manny Vitale out there, you throw Brad Pitt out there, who are you going to listen to? So sure as hell ain't going to be me. But so anything, and you get people who are in that position who agree to help, man, it's no different than everyone else, but just showing that, everyone, the heart's in the right place, that they'll do their part. So he's going to be coming on, as well as a few other people as well. We're just working out dates and times.
Heidi, you're funny.
Uh-oh.
She said call 1-800-MFOW for a history course with Manny and Lynn.
Heidi, look at you, man.
Girlfriend.
I'm telling you, we got to have, well, yeah.
We have Heidi on.
We have Heidi. Yeah, Heidi, man. We got to have you come on the show, man. Talk about whatever or anything. I mean, it doesn't have, like I said, it doesn't have to be on My Fight. It could be on this here. Discuss
anything,
any kind, whatever. You got fur babies at your house? We could talk about
dogs, cats,
animals, cats, fish.
Fur, not furry fish.
Furry fish. Well, they got mud puppies. Dogfish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You here, St. Clair Shores, the Nautical Mile, Lake St. Clair, right there.
Yeah.
You never heard of a mud puppy?
I've lived a sheltered life.
Yeah, she didn't know what drop the kids off at the pool meant. At the gym, and finishing up, and go. I'll be right back, man. Got to go drop the kids off at the pool. You have a pool? Do I have a pool? Yeah, you don't have a pool. What are you talking about? You said you're going to drop the kids off at the pool. She goes, whose kids? No, these little assholes. So got her on that one, and I'll leave the other abbreviation alone. We'll discuss that at a later date. Yeah, no, I won't. But no, I wish I did.
To come on, I have to talk to somebody.
What's that?
That was Heidi.
It just says, no, I wish I did.
Have something to talk about. Have something to talk about.
Oh, I thought she said no, I did as far as
I bet you
the
have
fur
plenty to
babies.
talk about.
You
Oh,
sure?
you wish. Oh, fur babies.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Does that mean no, I wish I did as far as you don't want to come on the show or you don't have fur babies or both? You know what? Today is today is Manny Vitale's Wolfpack featuring Heidi.
Oh, no, about the fur babies.
No, no, there you can still come on. You don't have to have fur babies.
Mm-mm.
You could save these people from having to listen to me. No comment.
No comment.
No comment. Let's see what else we got going on here. Update with I'm going to find out tomorrow or Tuesday from Kate over at Fan. I'm going to be doing some work with Fan. Oh man,
Fans for what now?
Fighting addiction now, I believe. They were Families Against Narcotics. And the thing is, when they first did that, and I'm just learning as I go here because they're changing the name. But FAN was Families Against Narcotics. And it was basically people who, just sums it right up, that lost loved ones due to drugs. And they helped so many people. But as the organization grew, it branched out to, besides, I mean, just like with My Fight Our War, we have, it doesn't matter if it's alcohol, drugs, eating disorder, whatever it may be, we help everybody. We listen to every story. Well, FAN was dealing with the same thing where they were getting kind of just prioritized as just strictly narcotics, Families Against just narcotics, because then people were kind of saying, I wish I could get a hold of you, but ours is other than that. So kind of like My Fight Our War, they're like, hey, listen, man, there's so many different avenues. We're going to help everybody. You know, it doesn't, just like I said with My Fight Our War, man, you don't have to have addiction, a drug addict, mental health issues. All that shit is a diagnosis and a word and a title. It doesn't mean that's you. That doesn't mean it's me. That's just a title. So if it does, it's like tearing the shit out of something. Are you?
No.
What are you doing?
Yes, I was just getting rid.
See, yeah, we're just getting rid of the evidence there.
Yeah.
Oh, too late. Yeah. No, I lost my track.
About fighting against it.
Oh yeah. So FAN
branched out.
What they're doing is so many different things that they didn't want to get just thought of as very one-dimensional stuff. So they are doing a lot of amazing things to help so many different people. I met Kate. We had a great conversation and talked about coming on to do a public speaking engagement with them in September, I believe, or is it August? It's coming up,
September.
And we'll go over that. While we were talking, decided to want to even possibly do more than that, which I immediately said yes. So we're in the process of doing that as well. So once I find out where FAN is going to be doing things, be promoting that as well. When I talk after John Blum comes on from the Detroit Red Wings alumni, and I get their information from their upcoming events, they do amazing things with so many charities. The ones that they just did a few weeks ago was Autos for Autism, and the funds and all the funds that were raised went through the Ted Lindsay Foundation. I had the absolute pleasure of meeting Ted Lindsay on multiple occasions, man. The first time I met Ted Lindsay, I was in, I think, 4th grade. And those of you from Michigan, the Detroit metropolitan area, Macomb County area, there used to be Gordie Howe Hockey Land on Harper Avenue. They turned that into North Shore Hockey. And that's when I first started to learn how to play. And after a game, we heard all this commotion. Ted Lindsay was in the stands watching his grandson. I remember, we're all running up there to get autographs. And I remember, as a youngster, you didn't mess with Ted Lindsay, man. Number 7 would tear your ass up. The production line, Lindsay, Abel, and Howe, those guys, helmets, what was a helmet? These guys played and they were badass. Ted was the enforcer. And he was not a very big guy, but he didn't screw with Ted Lindsay. And I remember walking up and it was my turn for an autograph. And he turned around and I scared the shit out of me. That dude's face was so scarred up from the head to chin, from cheek to cheek. I mean, from all the fights. And again, none of these guys wore helmets back then. And between pucks, sticks, and fights, this guy, but I tell you what, that was the first time I met him. Like I said, third, fourth grade, somewhere around there. And then fortunate going through the years, was able to meet him more times. And I was so blessed that towards the end of his life, I was able to meet him, I think, on 2 or 3 different occasions fairly soon in between. And he actually remembered me towards the last 2 visits, which was just to have him, Manny, Ted Lindsay. But then again, I was in a tour bus at the Lions opener with Mr. Hockey, Gordie Howe, getting ready to do an interview. And when they came on to ask if Mr. Howe was ready, this was back in my drinking days, crazy days. And I was invited to the Lions opener by some people. And there were some celebrities on board. There was Milt Wilcox, John O'Grodnick, Bill Gadsby, an old timer from the Wings, was inside, and Gordie Howe. And here, someone like me who just dreamed hockey constantly, there's Mr. Hockey in the bus. And I remember that day, it was pouring rain, just pouring. And him and his wife were at another engagement. They were doing a speaking little thing right outside the bus, and it just opened up. He was soaked. So he came in because he had about 2 hours before his next interview. And it just so happened it was me, Milt Wilcox, and Gordie Howe. And I think there's 2 other people in this tour bus in the Pontiac Silverdome. So I'm sitting there, and I had a few drinks, quite a few in me. And all of a sudden the door opens, and I hear, "Excuse me." I hear Gordie Howe's name. And then this person turns around. They're like, "Hey, Manny, is Gordie still back there?" Like, yeah, my old buddy, right? So I turn around and I go, "Hey, Gordie, there's someone here for the interview." And, I was able to talk to him for quite a while he was waiting. So it was nice, man. So he's like, "Hey, Manny, can you do me a favor? Let him know it's going to be a few." So I turned around. I go, "What was that?" There he is, my idol, Mr. Hockey, Gordie Howe, standing there in his boxers. How many of you can tell that story? So that was I was just like, "Yep, let him know. Mr. Howe will be with you shortly. And SpongeBob looks good on you, sir." But that was so cool, man, meeting these guys. And here, John Blum, this friend of mine, was is part of that same association. These guys do so much for charity. Like I said, the last one for autism, Ted Lindsay Foundation, all of those. I was personally part of one, but mine was on a security detail when I was with Detroit Police. Over at Fraser Arena in Fraser, Michigan. There was this a Make-A-Wish where they had the Red Wings play against people who wanted to donate a decent sum of money to actually get to play against some of the old timers and current Red Wings. This was back in '94. So here I am in the locker room, sitting next to Dino Cicerelli, Nick Lidstrom, Konstantinov, McCarty, and I think was Nick Libet or Rick Lapointe in there. I mean, these are people I've just like, especially the older ones, man, where I grew up watching, and here I'm in the locker room with these guys, and they're all out there. And just being back in the locker room, being back in that environment, which I gave 20 some years of my life playing, and these guys are still doing it for the love of the game. And I was there because I had to be there with Sergei Fedorov, who at any event, he had to have security because he'd have death threats from Russia still. So I'm in there, and here we're in the locker room, and they had their own little separate room for Sergei, his dad, and his brother. That kind of pissed me off. I'm like, well, I just left him in there. So we're in the locker room. So here they're like, "Man, you can be out here with the rest of the guys." Cicerelli's like, "Hey, man, have a seat." So I'm sitting out there, and it was, even though these guys are pro players, we all played through the ranks. So I explained to them, Detroit Police, what I was doing there. And then I explained to them, "Hey, listen, I'm not just some dude, man. I played the game all the way through high school, got recruited by Ohio State, played through juniors and playing, in through through their division up into beer league hockey, man, with all of you guys. And it was so cool because as soon as I heard all that, it was just like, you paid your dues. And I was on cloud nine. And like, all right, Manny, Sergey's ready. I'm like, so what? Yeah. And but again, it was for Make a Wish. It was for a great cause. So as soon as I get this information for the Detroit Red Wing alumni, I'm going to pass all that along for you, as well as all of you motorcycle enthusiasts. I work for Wolverine Harley Davidson. George Delanuez over there at Wolverine on North Gratiot, just east of or south of M59, which is Hall Road. Is you talk? I know you can. You're like, well, man, we can go to any Harley dealership and get a bike. Yeah, you can. But if you want to get the best of the best, go to Wolverine Harley Davidson on North Gratiot in Clinton Township, just south of M59, which is Hall Road. You will be in there with the most professional and family-oriented people, from sales department to financing to parts to apparel to service to detailing. Everywhere and everything, every department and everyone is the best of the best there. And so you will. The address is 44660 North Gratiot, and on Saturdays we're usually having events there as well. I believe the Warthogs. I'm not sure if they were there today, but so on Saturday they're open Monday, or I'm sorry, Tuesday through Sunday, and you know what? Like I said, the atmosphere when you go in there. You're not going to be treated like you're bait going into a tank full of piranhas, man. You're going to be treated with respect and dignity, but at the same time, man, the sales guys are incredible. They're going to listen. They're not there just to see, let's see how much money we could squeeze out of you. They're going to listen to your experience, what you're looking for, what type of riding you do. Then, of course, above and beyond is safety. Even though you may have your eyes on something that you want, I mean, if bottom line is if that's what you want, then you're going to get it. But safety comes first when you're on a freaking bike. It's a lot. One mistake look what happens in vehicles, man. You're in you got surrounded by sheet metal and all this stuff. Well, plastic now, but you're on a bike. It's a lot more serious when you are looking at wrecks. So our sales guys are going to listen to your riding experience. So that's going to be, first and foremost. And then, of course, going to look at your budget. They're not going to sit there slam you into something if you're not even going to be able to afford gas to put in it. And I know a lot of people will look at the financing thinking there's no way I can afford a new bike or even one with some experience on it. Yes, you can. And our guys in finance will sit there and they will work with you to get you into a bike that you can enjoy because you can afford riding it. Once you get your bike from our sales and then finance takes over and helps you out, we got our parts department right there who are second to none as far as you want to do some upgrades. Bam, they're right there. They'll walk you through it. They're going to make sure the upgrades that you want are working. They will work fine with your bike. And then you know what? Not only is that bike going to go and look as badass as ever, but as we know, you start putting on the leather, the jackets, the t-shirts, the hats, the vests, the boots. I mean, you badass as they come. So our people that deal in apparel, not only are they going to fit you with the baddest ass looking apparel, but safety is again number one. Yeah, the jackets, the chaps, the boots, the gloves all look cool as hell, but it's for a purpose, for safety. It has the jackets have to be fitted properly so you don't get that ballooning, going up the tenting or whatever so like you don't get too much draft going up your sleeves or up between your waist, so you get all that rush of air. You get hit with a big air gust and it goes up your sleeves, man. It could send you flying. Helmets, extremely important. You make sure your helmets are fitted properly. You see people riding around with these teeny little tiny shoes on, flip flops and shit. You don't forget when you're on a bike, you're the windshield. When you're on the bike, you're the hood, you're the door. That hits your car, that's going to be hitting you. The people in apparel are going to make sure you look bad as hell. They're going to make sure that you're safe. Then you want to take that bike and take the parts that you got from our parts department. You can go in the back into our service, our ride up guys in our service department, and then back to our techs. You talk about putting together a badass ride. I mean, you get a stock Harley off the line, you're already cool as can be. You start throwing your own touches onto it. You want to do that, come to Wolverine. And like I said, it's at 44660 North Gratiot, Clayton Township, just south of Halt Road. And you won't be sorry. So I think that's
hopefully next week.
And yeah, you get besides all the amazing people there, you'll be able to get to see me. And it's been too long. And God bless those guys, George and Dave and Mark and Derek, Dan, all the ones who are in charge, Mario and Shaggy and Matt, Jesse, Jeff, all of you guys. I love you guys. Thank you for everything, your support, and looking forward to seeing you guys. I love you. I think we covered just about everything there. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And Heidi, thank you for being part of the Manny Vitale Wolfpack and Heidi show. And I'm not shitting you. I mean, thank you, Heidi. I really do appreciate it. Cousin Tony, Carol, thank you. And everyone, Tyler, thank you, brother. And for those people, Tyler, you've been on the show. You want to pop on again? You got I know you were talking about doing your own podcast and getting your show going, man. If you're doing something like that, let's promote it. The more the merrier, brother. So this has been fun, man. This was a good time. Let's get thing in here. And I don't know why this table keeps moving. Maybe it's because you jump on the damn thing. It's like, well, look at this, Manny. The table's moving. What's going on? Well, let's see. Your headphones are attached to this wire, which is attached to this.
My apologies.
But no, seriously, Heidi, thank you so much, man. Like I said, from day one, you've been here, and along with all the other amazing family members from My Fight Our War, now all family with the Wolfpack page as well. This is an honor and a pleasure. I love you guys. This is something that's a passion that's only going to grow. This is just the beginning. I've got some ideas that are floating around with some individuals that if it's, if that doesn't take off, there's other things that are gonna. So this is not a one and done. This isn't, well, if this doesn't work out, well, sorry. No, if things don't work out, these other 2, 3, or 4 things are going to work out. It's just never ending. As I've said, the only limits we have are the limits we put upon ourselves. So don't set limits, set goals. And,
Well said. I like that.
Hey, I saw this right here. Not even. That shit never happened. You'll never see me read a script. And so when I sit here and I babble aimlessly for 2, 3, 5 minutes, it's because I'm like, how do I get out of this one? How do I get out of this one? Just like keep talking. Oh no, that didn't work. Oh, okay. Well, love you guys.
Yeah.
So thanks again. Yeah, time to go hit the Olympics. But I tell you what, Heidi, you're awesome. I appreciate you all. Thing, you got anything before we head out?
Let's go root for the USA teams. All our good sports.
Okay, that's
folks.
not thing.
Oh. Okay.
There we go. All right. That's USA is
number 1.
Okay. Okay. All right, folks. Have a great night, man. Love you guys. And as always, man, keep fighting the good fight. Man, that was good.